Welcome, is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. We are giving away a free Brandon Ayuk jersey. All you have to do is be a subscriber for a chance to win. We're going to be giving that away here at the end of March.
Now turn up.
So welcome to the channel. We're going to be doing a 2-round mock draft of Dynasty, of course. We're going to be doing the rookies. And so they did landing spots. So landing spots, this is by Pro Football Focus. Don't yell at me for the landing spots. This is just what they do. And so I was just giving some people some different variety of what might happen in the upcoming draft. So all we can do is here is speculate in the next month. So we might as well just speculate. So the first person off the board in this 1 QB league is going to be Najee Harris. And I think drafting running back in the first couple picks here is an easy thing to do. Number one, I think there's going to be a lot of good landing spots. I think Buffalo, Miami, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. There's a lot of different good landing spots that you can see some of these running backs going. And so this one in particular is Najee Harris going to Tampa Bay at the end of the first round. So pick 1.32. And so when you talk about a first round running back, and if you've looked at any of the previous videos I did about first round draft capital running backs compared to like second round, third round, that is where you're going to have more odds. So like just like in blackjack, where if you have a 20, and if you don't know how to play blackjack, sorry. But if you have like a 20, of course, you're not going to hit on that, especially if you have a 17 and your dealer has like a 5 showing, you're going to be happy with that more than the other way around. And so that is what you are doing when you're drafting a first round running back. Najee Harris, 1.32, Tampa Bay, 101. All right, 102. This is a tough one here, and I went back and forth on this, but really 1.02, 1.03 in this draft, I'd be fine with either one. Travis Etienne is going to be my running back. He is my running back too, but 2.61. He's going to Buffalo in this situation, and again, I think he'll be that really good complement to Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Really great into that offense, and I think he's going to be an explosive asset. And just so we can go right into it with 1.03, so you guys get to know, it's Javonte Williams, and in this case, he goes to the second round, 36th overall pick to Miami. Another awesome landing spot. So realistically, if you wanted Javonte Williams over Travis Etienne, and I almost did that here, I was really tempted because Javonte Williams and Travis Etienne are so close, but all three running backs into kind of a tier 1, kind of in their lonesome. It's going to be hard for one of these three running backs to drop out of the top 3. If you want a wide receiver, please trade out of these top 3 picks because wide receivers are deep. And so there's at least 5 in tier 1, and then in tier 2, there's another bunch. So you can get a running back early, but if you don't need a running back and you need a wide receiver, then of course trade back out of there. So those first 3 picks, Harris, Etienne, Williams. Number 4 is going to be Devontae Smith, and he went a little bit later in this draft. So a lot of times I see him going between like picks 5 and 9. And so in this case, it's going to be 113 to the, I almost said San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, it's so weird saying that. I've been so used to saying San Diego for the rest of my life. But so he goes to the Chargers, and that's going to be a perfect situation with, of course, Herbert and Mike Williams. Who knows about that situation there? So I think Devontae Smith is going to be awesome in that role. And you can see Herbert definitely doing what Tampa Bay did last year and supplying 2 to 3 wide receivers, and they're easily of the top 20. And you see that all the time where teammates can do that. You just need a really good offense. And I think Devontae Smith fits really well with what they're doing there. Number 5 is going to be my wide receiver. 2 is going to be Jamar Chase. And so he's going to be picked number 7 to the Lions, and we're talking about lots and lots of targets. Yeah, he may start off a little slow just because the Lions offense is going to be not the greatest. But I think once he gets a hold of getting with Jared Goff, I think that's going to be a huge benefit there. And I think Jamar Chase is going to be that wide receiver. I know that Lions can't hit on wide receivers besides Megatron. I think this will be a good spot for Jamar Chase to go. Number 6, and man, the tight end that just keeps moving on up. You know him as 4.46 himself. He is Kyle Pitts, and in this case, Cincinnati moves back out of that, I think, 5 position, and they went to 8. So Pro Football Focus did a bunch of different trades in this, and also trades are happening right now. We just had, not too long ago, we had Miami moving all over the place and Eagles moving all over the place. And you know what? By the time this video comes out, maybe there is more trades. So just bear with me, at least in this case. But right now, at least Cincinnati has 5, moves out of the 8, and picks Kyle Pitts, the once in a probably lifetime generational talent. And we see him and how great he can be. There is a little tiny worry that he could be like the Vernon Davis hype. Vernon Davis hype and just doesn't become that. But ultimately, there's also ability where he could be tight end 1 in 2022, 2023. That's soon. He's again generational talent. So pick 6. I haven't drafted a tight end that far up there in forever. But in this case, number 7, Jalen Waddle. Why is he? If you followed me, he's my wide receiver 5. Why is he in the wide receiver 3 spot? It's a situational thing, and you'll see where the other two go, and you go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And that's why these tier 1 wide receivers, 1 through 5, a lot of them can be interchangeable, especially with certain landing spots and certain situations. And you'll see the bad ones that are coming up for landing spots. But Jalen Waddle, wide receiver 5, he was picked 16th overall to Arizona. Again, Fitzgerald, old, going to be out of there. AJ Green, I don't think is going to be, he maybe hits 400 or 500 yards, but he won't be anything special. So you really need somebody to fill in that Christian Kirk role, plus just be better. And I think Jalen Waddle can definitely do that in the Arizona's offense. And now pick 8, this is the highest I think I've drafted a quarterback in a while. But again, once in a generational talent in tight end, and now in quarterback, we have Trevor, I'm going to call him William Lawrence. I am determined to make sure that people know that his real name is William. So William Lawrence is what we're going with. In fact, if you want to go up to the board and you don't have to say it, just say William Lawrence. That's who I'm drafting. See what they say. 101 to the Jags. And I mean, there's not much to say besides that if there's a good wide receiver position, landing spots, you're going to see those fall ahead probably of Trevor Lawrence. And if not, you're going to see them fall below. That's as easy, as simple as that. Number 109 is going to be Rashad Bateman, wide receiver 3, pick 27th overall to the Ravens. And I have a bad feeling one of these 5 wide receivers is going to go to the Ravens, and it's most likely going to be either Waddle, Bateman, or Rondale Moore, since they're going to have a little bit less draft capital at being at 27. And who knows, maybe Ravens try to move up or whatever it might be. But the Ravens are a horrible landing spot. Lamar doesn't pass for more than 190 yards a game. I mean, we're talking 185 yards, and you got Mark Andrews that is the tight end machine, and he gets about 50 yards, 60 yards a game. So where else are you going to get those yardage? You're going to still have a little bit out of the backfield. You're going to still have Marquise Brown. Now you're just cutting that pie smaller and smaller, and it's just not a good place to be. In fact, Rashad Bateman, you could argue even going down further because of that horrible situation. Please, no one that Ravens just draft like a 3rd-round wide receiver there, because I really love all these wide receivers, and I don't want you to take one of the good ones and make them horrible. But anyway, so number 10 is going to be Rondale Moore, and we know him as Mr. 4.29, 42.5-inch vertical, but in this case, he goes to the Titans. Not a great spot in my mind for his situation. He's going to be the beta to AJ Brown. We know that's a problem, but he doesn't play like Corey Davis. He kind of plays like a smaller, thinner, not thinner, but smaller, really tiny version of AJ Brown. If you took Rondale Moore and you not shrink rate him, but expanded him and made him bigger, then you'd have AJ Brown. So that's kind of a problem when you have somebody that's bigger, better, and everything in that. So Rondale Moore is gonna be he's my wide receiver 4, but in the 2nd round he goes to the Titans. Anyways, number 11, and this is gonna be the biggest problem with Kenneth Gainwell, because if you've been following my channel, you're like, well, where is he? He's my RB4. He's my RB4 with the biggest, I guess, variety of where he could be drafted. In some drafts, he's drafted 4. In some drafts, he's drafted all the way in 11. In this case, he is RB4, pick 396 to New England. Why would you do this, New England? Please don't go to New England. I hate New England running backs in general. I think Damian Harris is a decent running back, and I think he'll actually be undervalued, and I think he'll actually be sufficient at being like an RB3 that you can get on cheap. But if Kenneth Gainwell's there, it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to be a problem. The fantasy gods, please don't have New England draft Kenneth Gainwell, because this is going to be the problem, because there's 3 really awesome running backs, and Kenneth Gainwell can be that 4th. He also could be a big bust, and so has the widest margins of what he could be. And so Kenneth Gainwell to New England is not a good spot for him, and that's why he's number 11. He's my last of the tier 2 kind of players. And now we have a huge line and drop off. So if you're at pick 12, this is where you're going to start having a huge drop off, in my opinion, of talent. But we have Kadarius Toney. He's pick 250, and I have him. I was like Miami, and I was like, he was from Florida. He didn't go to University of Miami. No, he went to Miami. He's going to the Dolphins. That's what it is. I was like, I think I must have typed that wrong. No, he's staying in Florida, I guess you could say. He's going to the Dolphins. I like that spot for Kadarius Toney. He can definitely be that inside slot kind of jack of all trades, and Miami has a lot of players, and we know that Tua can't throw the deep ball very well. So Kadarius Toney would be a really good spot for. It would be a really good spot for him to go to Miami. Now we're going into the second round. 2.01, we're going to go with Terrace Marshall. He's wide receiver 6. He's 25th overall pick to the Jags. Ultimately, they have Marvin Jones there, 1-year contract. Maybe actually, it might be 2-year contract. It might be a 1 or 2-year contract. You still have DJ Chark there for a slight little bit there, but I think that Terrace Marshall can definitely be in the mix of trying to fight for a lot of those receptions that Trevor Lawrence is going to be throwing around. So I think that's going to be a fun offense there. He is my wide receiver 7. No, 8. He's my wide receiver 8. Yeah, I messed up the numbers on these rankings. I will go through my rankings on another video here very shortly. So well, we'll just have to kind of erase that. Whatever. Anyways, so pick 202 to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's third round to the Jets, 3.86. Awesome, I think, spot to just kind of soak up the third target spots. And I think he's a really good kind of slot guy to Denzel Mims and Corey Davis. Ultimately, they just need a quarterback there. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown has really good talent. It'll just be interesting to see where he goes. Or interesting to see how he fits in that offense and if they actually can get themselves a quarterback, which in this case, they do get a quarterback. So you have to see who that is in a little bit here. Number 203 is going to be my second tight end off the board. It is not Brevin Jordan. It is Pat Freiermuth, and he's going to the 60th overall pick to the Saints. I love the Saints as an option for a tight end. Really, it's a really good spot for I mean, they have Adam Troutman, but I think that having Pat Freiermuth would be a really good option to that offense. 204, we're going to go with Tylan Wallace. He's an Ohio State. He's an Oklahoma State wide receiver. He's had issues recovering from his ACL, but I think in this situation, third round to the Texans, we're going to be going through a little bit of these players pretty fast. So Texans, he's going to soak up a lot of targets. Who knows if it's going to be from Deshaun Watson or not from Deshaun Watson, but hopefully, I mean, we hope that it's all from Deshaun Watson and he doesn't have the legal issues, but that's beside the point. You just have to kind of draft him. He's going to be a really good wide receiver to Brandon Cooks on the other side. And then we have we have a bunch of wide receivers here. So 205, 206, 207. And honestly, you can throw them in any order you want, but we're going to start with Justin Fields. He's my QB3. He's picked third overall in San Francisco. They just traded up for that pick, and they are picking Justin Fields, and that is my prediction. I think actually a different quarterback gets selected right before him, and that's why they go with Justin Fields. 206, we're going to go Trey Lance. He's my QB2, and the reason why he's my QB2 over the other two wide receivers is that I think Trey Lance has the highest upside. We are talking Deshaun Watson level upside, and we're talking QB4, QB5 consistently for years to come if he can find himself and if he can perform like he did in 2019. 2020, of course, the year of North Dakota State did not work, but I mean, you're just going to have to, he's extreme upside. And with this position of 105 to Carolina, I think that's an awesome spot where you have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, no Curtis Samuel anymore, but you have CMC just to throw it off and have him have 1,000 yards. There's 1,000 yards passing right there. An awesome situation for, I think, a young quarterback in Trey Lance. And then 207 is Zach Wilson. He's my QB4, and ultimately, a lot of people's QB2, but just in fantasy football-wise, I think he's just a little bit lower than some of these running quarterbacks, these more mobile quarterbacks. And so Zach Wilson, 102 to the Jets. Jets, again, a decent spot, and he's going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Corey Davis. He's going to have Denzel Mims. Is he going to have a running back? Who knows? I guess not in this situation. He doesn't have a good running back, but maybe he does. But that's what we have. Okay, so we got 4 or 5 more picks left. We have 2.08, Dyami Brown, wide receiver 11. He's going to the Eagles. Again, just soaking up some more spots because you have Jalen Reagor there. Just a good spot for Dyami Brown to just be able to be a wide receiver 2 in that situation. 2.09, we have Brevin Jordan. He's going to Atlanta. Again, sharing time with, I almost said Hooper, Hayden Hurst. And so we don't want him to be sharing. Honestly, Brevin Jordan's a low ADOT target. He's going to be breaking a lot of tackles. It's going to be probably a dump-off type of run after the catch, short, very short catches. You can see him have a lot of catches and not a lot of yards. Just again, 5-10 yards, but just having these 2-3 yard dump-off passes and him trying to break tackles. That's going to be what you're going to see from Brevin Jordan. 2.10, whoo, man, we're going fast. Elijah Moore, 2.38 from Cincinnati. A great inside slot guy too, of course, T. Higgins, and then we'll figure out what Tyler Boyd does. They'll be the 2 outside guys. Elijah Moore inside, just sucking up the middle of the field and collecting a bunch of targets from Joe Burrow. All right, 2.11 is Tutu Atwell. Not a great wide receiver, but again, 2.52 to the Bears. I think he's going to be a good spot into the Bears situation. And ultimately, they didn't have, in the top 3 rounds, they didn't have any other running backs drafted, and they didn't have any other wide receivers drafted. So this is what we were given. I honestly think that there will be a lot more running backs and wide receivers drafted than these. What is that? Even quarterbacks there was 23. I think we're going to probably see about 30. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to have 30. So that's why I just said finish mock 212. There is no 212 because they didn't do a 4th round, or else maybe we would have saw the Chuba Hubbards or the Michael Carters or Trey Sermons or a bunch of different other Tamarian Terrys. We can see all those different wide receivers and running backs because there's a huge tier. But we didn't see that in this, so this is what we get and this is what you get. So again, I hope you like this. This is like speed round. Make a 25-minute video into 15, so then you can get done doing something else, or maybe watching the next video. Yeah, there we go. All right, so if you liked the video, please subscribe. Brandon Ayuk jersey. Gonna be given away here soon. All right, peace out. See you tomorrow, guys.
Now turn up.